Hi ladies, I am here today to make a video to show you how I apply my Jamberry nails. I really have grown to like the spoon pusher method, which this is what you call a spoon pusher. I got it from Ulta for about $6, but they have them at Target and at Sally's, or you can order them online. So let's get started. I use my spoon pusher at the beginning to scrape my nails to get what they call the invisible cuticle off. So I scrape it and all this white stuff starts flaking off, which is what can cause some of your bubbling along the sides of your nails. So I scrape it really good first, and you can maybe see there's some white stuff around the edges. So I do that first. Then I take my buffer. This is just one I got at Sally's because I use the ones I bought from Jamberry for giveaways. So I buff my nails, which helps get some more of that flaky stuff off. Next, if I need to, I will just file my nails to get to the correct shape. Then I take my alcohol wipe. These are just Curad ones I got from Walmart. It's like 100 for a couple bucks, $2 maybe. And I make sure I wipe my nails really good, especially since I just buffed all that white stuff off. You want to make sure you're getting into the sides of your nails to make sure you get all that residue off. So it's clean. I make sure it's dry. Then I take my sheet and I start trying to match which one fits my nail best. Now, the secret is to find one that is slightly smaller than your nail. But I'm in between sizes. So this one right here is slightly larger than my nail. So I'm going to peel it off with my rubber cuticle pusher. I'm going to cut it in half if I can find my nail scissors. And now that I have it attached to my rubber cuticle pusher, I move it to the end so I can trim around the sides to make it fit my nail. So once you get the hang of this, you know about how much you need to trim off. So I just trim a little sliver around the whole nail because this one is slightly larger than my nail and you want it just an teensy bit smaller than your nail. So I'm trimming and these scissors are awful, so I'll use these. I'm going to trim just a little bit around the edges, and you want to make sure that you're not touching the sticky part of your nail wrap because you're going to mess it up. So I just took like some teeny tiny slivers off, you probably can't even see them, off of my nail wrap. So then I'm going to use my mini heater to heat it up for a few seconds until it is a little bit flexible. I don't know about you, but mine takes a couple seconds to actually heat up. So it's about warm now. I'm going to hold it for a few seconds until it's pliable. You can see that it moves easily. And then I am going to lay that on my nail. I like to place mine at the top and then smooth it out from there with my finger. So now that I've kind of smoothed it down with my finger, I'm going to take my spoon pusher and heat that up for a few seconds with my mini heater. You want it good and hot because it acts like an iron for your nail wrap and helps get that really tight seal. So now that it's good and hot, I'm going to use it and iron it around the edges of my nails. And I do that process a few times just to make sure that it is done really well and that the adhesive has been activated all around my nail and that I'm getting that tight seal. So I'm just pushing down all around my nail, making sure that it's sealed well. So I do that about 2 times. I pay strict attention around the very edges and then also at the tip. So I'll hold it on the tip for a little bit because that's another place that I can sometimes experience some lifting away from my nail. So then what I typically do is I'll go on to a second nail because I want this to be good and cool before I trim it and start to file. So I'll go ahead and do one more for you. So I'll take my spoon pusher again and scrape all that junk off. Use my buffer. Use my alcohol wipe to get all that gunk off. Going to check and make sure that same wrap is okay. And that one's actually going to be a different size for this nail. So I have to size up on this one. I'm going to peel it from this sheet and cut it in half. Then I'm going to trim around my edges to get it the perfect size to fit my nails. When I'm touching the adhesive side to move it around on my rubber cuticle pusher, I'm touching it in a place that's never going to be adhered to my nails anyways, because that's the very end. So sometimes I do that. I'm going to heat it up with my mini heater for a few seconds until it starts to flop and get wobbly. Now that it's pliable, I'm going to put it on my nail. Trying to be a little difficult. Perfect. I smooth mine down with my fingers. And now it's time for the spoon pusher one more time. So I'm going to heat it up with my mini heater. So it's nice and hot. Going to iron my wrap on my nail. You want to make sure you're not touching any cuticle. Now that that one is done, I can go back and trim the first one I did. So I like to take my nail clippers and trim it right down to my nail as close as I can get it. That way I'm not having to file a bunch of excess off. So I trimmed it pretty close. And then I like to use the nail file Jamberry gives you, if not one that's smoother, because I think that's what makes our nail wraps split a little bit if you use the rough ones. So I literally just file straight down. Actually, I have a different one I like to use. File straight down, very gently. If you're rough, you're going to ruin your nail wraps. Until I have a smooth finish. Make sure that I've got all of it off. And there you have it. Perfect Jamberry nail application. See, that one I trimmed a little bit too much, so I've got side nail showing, but it really doesn't make a difference. Normally I'm a little more careful, but being on camera kind of changes things. So, try the spoon pusher. It's amazing. Bye, ladies.